Oh, that's a relief. Good morning everyone and good morning children. This morning we're going to be thinking about loving our family. Josette, how are you getting on with this lockdown lark? Do I ever get on your nerves?
Do you get on my nerves? Sometimes. But as followers of Jesus, we're called to love one another. And that includes our family, our brothers and sisters in particular. Let's watch a short video and get some advice from Douglas about loving our family.
45 days is a long time to spend with your family. Hey guys, it's me again, Douglas. And today I wanted to talk to you guys about loving your family. And for me, this is especially hard because I've been stuck with them for a long time. 45 days ago, they canceled school. And then a few days after that, they canceled church. And then they said that you gotta stay home. And I've been home with my family for a long time now. And I gotta tell you, my little brother drives me bananas. He does, and it's so weird though because I love my family. I love my mom, I love my dad, and I love my little brother Steven. But man, do they drive me crazy sometimes. It seems like it's a lot easier to love other people than it is to love the people you're closest to, which seems backwards. But I feel like I fight with my brother more than I fight with anybody at all. But if somebody else was to fight with my brother the same way I fight with my brother, I would totally intervene, jump in the middle and be like, hey, back off, that's my brother. So I don't know why it's so hard to love my brother. Because I love my brother. But sometimes I also feel like I hate my brother. You know, if I was given the choice between hanging out with my brother or hanging out with my friends, I would absolutely always choose my friends. And I don't think that's a good thing. Sometimes I wonder if all this stuff is happening so that we could come back together as a family and remember how important we are to one another. And you know, it's funny because we know that the greatest commandments are to love God and to love other people. You know, love your neighbor as yourself. But you know what? Your neighbor doesn't just include the person who lives in the house next to you, or even the people who live on the other side of the world from you. Your neighbor includes your brothers and sisters. Your neighbor includes your mom and dad. Your neighbor includes the people that you live with. Your neighbor includes your family. It's not just that it includes your family, it's most important to love your family. You know, I try to read my Bible every day. If I don't have my quiet time, I'm going to lose it. But have you ever had a time when you were reading the Bible and it felt like God was talking right exactly to you? Well, there was this time just very recently where I was sitting down to read my Bible and I had just gotten in a big old fight with my brother and I was so done with my brother. I was thinking, you know, if I have to put up with him for one more day, I'm gonna duct tape him to the ceiling or hit him in the head with a couch cushion or something. And as I was reading, I read this verse that really stuck out. It was the very last part of the fourth chapter of 1 John. And it said, whoever loves God must also love his brother. And I've heard my pastor talking about that before, you know, where sometimes when it says your brother, it can mean your brother or your sister, and not just like your sibling, but it means, you know, the other people around you, your friends, your family, the members of your church, you know, Christians in general even. And so, yeah, it can mean all Christians, but it also means my brother, my actual brother, Steven. And here's the thing, is I know that our families can drive us crazy, but that love we have in our family is something very special. In Proverbs, it says that a brother is born for adversity. And adversity is like hard times. So one of the many reasons why God gave us our families is so that they could help us through hard times. And one of the reasons God gave us to the families we're in is so that we could help them through hard times. So my challenge to you guys today is that you would love your family. And it can be really hard loving your family. It can be a lot of work. But if we can't love the people that we are with, that we can, you know, see, how can we love God, who we can't see? So let's think of ways this week that we can share the love of Jesus, not just with people all over the world, but with our families at home. My friends will all be there for me once everything goes back to normal. But my family is here right now. They're here for me, and I want to be here for them.
Well, welcome back. Oh, what's that, Derek? Oh. Well, Derek says that he wants me to remind him about the verse that Douglas mentioned in that little film we watched. Well, it was from 1 John 4, verse 21. It says this, it says, can you see it, Derek? Anyone who loves God must also love their brother and sister. Anyone who loves God must also love their brother and sister.
Well, with the lockdown continuing and the summer holidays about to start, we're going to be spending a lot of time together with our family, an awful lot of time. So let's have 1 minute to think of ways in which we can share Jesus' love in our family and obey this command from Jesus. Let's have 1 minute.
Well, Josette, what did you come up with in that minute we had there?
Well, we can be quite horrible to each other.
Really?
Yeah, at times, and say unkind things, even as a joke. But John writes here to remind followers of Jesus the command that we are to love one another. And that starts with the people we live with, our family. You bring me a cup of tea every morning, which is lovely. And I'm going to show my love by offering to make you a cup of tea sometimes.
Well, thanks, Josette. That's great. But look, we find it really difficult to love one another. So let's say a prayer and ask God to help us to love one another, because it's really difficult. We can't do it on our own, in our own strength. We need to ask God for the strength to do that. So let's say this little prayer together now, shall we? It will be on the screens in front of you. Dear Lord, help us to love our family, to be kind and not harsh, thoughtful and not selfish, and to share Jesus' love with our family. In Jesus' name, Amen.
Let's sing again now. We can bring all our prayers to Jesus because Jesus is the King, the ruler over everything. There are actions too, if you can remember them. After the song, the Early family will lead us in prayer.